Hi, Chris.
Hey, Dory.
So we're doing pour-overs this evening
We are.
At
Hario
the-
pour-overs.
at the Bellevue location of Seattle Coffee Gear.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hario are really cool. They come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, materials. They all come with this nice little scoop that's measured. It has the grams on here for 8, 10, and 12. Yeah. So nice pre-measured scoop.
Mm-hmm. And it comes in ceramic or glass or acrylic. So you have a couple of different options in material. Plus you get 3 different size options. So you can do the number 1, which is good for about 2 cups, up to 2 cups. The number 2, which is good for up to 4 cups. And the number 3, which is good for more cups. 6 cups.
Yes, 6 cups.
6 cups.
So I would say maybe the only one downside that I have to this is that it has kind of a big hole in the bottom. So that just means that you have to be a little bit more specific on your pour. You can't just kind of dump in the water because it'll just run through really quick. So you have to just be more specific.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a routine versus a true like French press where you can put it in and just let it steep.
Wing it, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite style, by the way.
Yes.
But what I do like about the Harios is that they have this nice little wave pattern inside, and that helps to make your filter kind of float. So you don't have your actual filter basket working against you and making the water flow through anywhere it comes into contact with a flat surface. This actually lets it, helps it steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have a couple other things here. We have their scale, which is really cool. It'll weigh out everything, and then it'll also do the timer part too. So if you like to, do the timing too, it'll do that.
Yep. And as you're weighing it, you can actually zero it each time. The tare function right below the power button is what allows you to do that. So you can really do this with as much precision as you want with that tool.
Mm-hmm. And then we also have this nice little serving glass, which is really cool.
And it comes with a seal, so it will actually
Keep your coffee hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's
It's
glass.
always nice. Well,
Yeah.
And then we have the dripper stand, so you can have your dripper on the top here, serving glass in the middle, and your little drip tray on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And this will even, as you can see, fit onto the scale. So the whole thing sits and works as one contraption. You can even put your cup directly under it, or if you're doing multiple cups, you can set that on there.
Yeah.
And brew right into it.
So, should we make some coffee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. So, we have just the number 2 filters here. This is the unbleached. You
Yep.
can also get them in the bleached.
And some people will actually say that the unbleached needs a little bit more of a rinse, and we'll show you what that looks like when we're setting up the machine, the process. But people will say that this needs a little bit more of a rinse just because it has a bit of a cardboard taste to it. So be aware of that. If you don't want that, you can get the bleached version.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit pure flavor, I guess. Doesn't impart flavors.
And then when you're putting this in to your dripper frame, you should actually fold over the seam so that it sits as flat as possible against the frame. And of course, when you have that wetted, it's going to sit down
Yeah.
in the basket. All right, so we should pour some water over that.
So we have some water heated to 200, and you want to go anywhere from probably 190 to 205 is your range.
Yeah, and I think 195 is where a lot of people settle as that's the best temperature ever. So I'm going to, as carefully as possible without burning myself with the 200-degree water,
Well, that's good.
kind of rinse this.
Good water.
And what's nice is you can kind of start to see how this floats. It doesn't come into contact with the frame. But you don't want to pour too fast when you're rinsing because you can collapse the filter in on itself, and then you've got a mess.
Yeah. And it preheats your cup for you. All good things.
Yep, not bad at all. So, should we let this sit while we pour in our coffee, or do you want to?
Yeah.
No, we can't let it sit because we're going to zero
we
this
have
out.
to. That's
Yes.
right. All right, so I'll dump this
You
if
know
you
what
want
we
to get
didn't
the.
think to get was a bucket to dump that into.
And there's a sink.
All right, and I'm going to, there,
Okay, so
put it right back on. And we'll zero that. And we're going to do 16 ounces 500
Yes.
milliliters?
500 milliliters, and we decided on 12 grams, 16 grams. How many grams?
20 grams.
20 grams,
Yes.
that's right.
20 grams. And you can play around with not just your grind size, which will affect the water flow, but also the amount of grounds that you put in there. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can go with a 24 gram dose. I've heard people tell me in the store here that they use 28 or 29 grams.
Whew, that'll get you going in the morning.
That's a brownie. All right.
So we're doing 20 grams.
Yes. And somehow I've been volunteered to be the precise guy.
Yeah, you're close enough.
I'm closer. That's what I... Okay. So that's at 16 and a half. Now, mind you, if I go a little bit over, nobody's going to tell.
Oh, 22. That's okay.
We decided to do 22.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right. And Dory, where are you on the putting the divot in there? Are you a proponent of that, or do you not?
I do. I like to have the little
How about it?
little dip, and I actually like to kind of shake it around to level it out a bit, and then just take a knuckle and make a little hole.
All right. So now we'll zero that out again. And the first thing that we're going to do is wet the grounds, right?
Yep.
And this is where you get to pour.
This is the fun part. So with this, you do want to kind of let the coffee bloom first. So you just let it, this is kind of a fast pour. So you just let it kind of bloom in there. It's pre-wetting the grounds, helps everything get a little bit more saturated. And then when you're actually pouring, the biggest deal about this is that you don't want to go too close to the edge because the water will just kind of run down the side and won't steep at all. So you do want to kind of keep the pour towards the middle, which is why a gooseneck kettle is very important. So usually give it...
Does it help when I nod on the video?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think it helps the flavor come out more. Yeah.
It's an encouraging nod. That's what it is.
Yes, exactly.
For the coffee.
So after it blooms a little bit, you can just kind of pour, keep it towards the center. Which I'm a little short, so I think it's kind of towards the center. And then this grind is a little bit on the finer side, so it might take a few seconds to come down. So we'll go ahead and pause here and just keep adding more water until we get to the 500 milliliters. All right, so you do want to start pretty slowly when you're starting to pour the water in. You let it kind of do that bloom and then just pour little spurts of water in until it starts dripping through. That means it's all saturated and everything. If you pour it in too quickly, that's when the water ends up around the edges and just kind of goes down the side of the filter instead of through the grounds and really steeping. So you're looking for those first drops, and then you can start pouring a little bit quicker. You'll be able to see the water kind of pouring through.
We should still try to get it all inside, right?
Nah, it's good for the counter too.
Good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hydration.
So at a certain point, you're going to start getting more of a stream, and you're just, continually running that water into the middle, but it'll just start flowing through a little bit quicker because it's already been soaked with the water. So you just get a little bit quicker drizzle there, so it doesn't take 12 hours, only like 5. And then at a certain point, after you've let the water kind of run through, you'll kind of almost get like this mud effect on the top that's kind of cool. So pay attention to your grounds because they look nice. This one we actually used a really nice grinder for, so all of the particles are pretty even, so you don't get as much of that mud effect. But if you're using, not a $900 grinder, you might get some smoother particles on the top, so it just looks really cool. It's just kind of fun.
All right, we're back for the final pour.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know, the last 9 grams. So Dory, you gotta be my eyes on the.
Oh yeah.
All right, eyes on the scale.
Whoa. Okay. Well, no, that's perfect actually.
All right.
Nice.
501, 502.
Yeah.
All right, and it took us a little bit longer to complete this pour just because we did use a finer grind, which is going to give you more surface area to come into contact with the water, so you're going to get more flavor and more intensity out of your cup. But it is going to slow down the brew process a little bit.
Yeah.
So this took us a little bit longer than you might want to wait at home. But the benefit to this type of system is, even though it is more of a processed coffee and you are going to have to invest a little bit of time into the process, is that you get absolute control over what happens in your cup. You know, you can choose the grind that you want. You can choose the temperature of your water. You can control the flow of the water into the grounds and into your cup. And what you end up with in that cup is a really super smooth reward. It's almost acid-free coffee. So if coffee tends to upset your stomach, this can actually be a really great solution to allow you to get a lovely cup of coffee.
Yeah. So we can pull it out at any time because this is a cool little drip tray too. So even though it's dripping, we can clean that out later.
All right, and here we go. Actually, I want to smell. It smells strong.
Does it smell good?
Uh-huh. It smells like a little
yeah.
Shy. Steven, should we pour enough for you?
Yes, good.
Please, that will be my cup. All right, and ladies first.
Just because it'll burn my tongue, that's nice.
It might not, because you chose the grind.
Yeah, it's not like burn your face off hot, so that's good.
Yeah.
But super smooth. And I do like that you can, you know, adjust everything to your preference. So if you really want a bold, you know, wake you up in the morning, you can do that. Or if you like mild, you can just tone down the grind a little bit.
And, you know, not that we don't think that you can't just drink right out of this, but if you weren't going to do that, if you weren't going to serve it all immediately, you can put the lid on it. It's got the silicone seal on it, so it will keep it nice and fresh. None of that aroma is going to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep all the good stuff inside. So that's the Hario pour over and all the accessories. You can visit us at seattlecoffeegear.com for more videos and more information.
You just keep talking. I'm going to drink coffee.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks, guys.